Welcome to another edition of Political Arena here on S24 Television. Ahead of 2027 general elections, the major dominant of Nigerian population are youth, whom are being categorized as the future leaders of tomorrow. Today on this edition of S24 Political Arena, we are joined by the National President of Voice of Nigeria, Peace and Development, Comrade Alamin Suleiman Ghani, to help us understand what quality of leadership should Nigerians go ahead of 2027 and what role should young people play. Comrade, welcome to Political Arena here on S24 Television.
Thank you for having me.
Comrade, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Comrade Alamin Suleiman Ghani, the National President of Voice of Nigerian Youth for Peace and Development Forum, the Nigerian Young Visionary Leader of the year 2025, and the Nigerian representative and ambassador of Best Diplomat Malaysia.
Thank you, Comrade. Do you think Nigeria is moving in the right direction?
There are so many positive efforts, but the progress is too slow.
Do you think today's youth are also the victim of the system? They're also a party responsible for that very situation. You say that Nigeria is not moving directly. They are positive, they are also negative. Do you think youth are actually the one in a very tense condition, or it is the system that fails the youth?
Yes, also youth are affected by the system, but through the leadership is about bringing practical ideas to the table.
Nigeria has one of the youngest population in Africa. How can we channel this population into our own advantage?
Yes, by investing in education, skills, and innovation. So we can create more equitable society where every individual has the opportunity to thrive.
The trust between the ruled and the role seems to be disenchanted. How can we at least rebuild that trust between those in the position of leadership and those in the position of followership?
Yeah, the government have to be transparent, fulfill their promises, create opportunities, and also have youth involvement in decision making, because trust grows through action, not word.
Okay, so what qualities should define a young leader?
Integrity, credibility, and commitment to service.
What should go first when it comes to choosing leadership? Competency or age?
Yes, based on leadership, competence comes first, because age is just a matter of, let me just say that just age. Age is not about the matter of politics.
Age is just a number.
It's just a number.
Yeah, they're not too young to run bill acted. And do you think that they're not too young to run bill that was signed by President Muhammadu Buhari? Has the bill served its purpose, or there is still lacuna?
Yes, it is opened the legal way, youth participation in politics, but the financial barriers, the party structure, and the political godfathers still preventing the youth from participating into election offices.
Okay, money politics remain one of the major obstacles, especially in the Fourth Republic. So how do you think young people can at least build trust with their people without looking at politics as a way of enriching themselves?
Yes, by building grassroots, having more commitment into service, and by helping each other in education, supporting education, primary healthcare, and innovation. Through entrepreneurship, we can create jobs, and we can have a very sustainable development.
So, Alamin, if I may ask you, should young people focus on becoming elected leaders, or they should just first build influence through community service ahead of what they want to be in the future?
Community service, because that is what will give them experience, give them credibility to lead Nigeria tomorrow.
Okay, so how can online activism translate into real leadership?
Nigerians have to move beyond posting online. They have to reject crimes, vote wisely, study political track record of every individual candidate, and by also working so tightly with the local communities.
Okay, you as the president of Voice of Nigerian Youth for Peace and Development. So what role should young people play in promoting peace, especially in this political turmoil period?
By uniting Nigeria beyond ethnicity and religion biases, our diversity should serve as our greatest strength, not our weaknesses. Peace, social justice are the sustainable of every development.
Ethnic and religious division continue to affect national unity. How can youth become agent of unity instead of agent of division?
By supporting each other. That moment of interaction, that is, let me just use one example for you. If you went to a southern state, you can still see a northern person named at their road to show you that the former heroes of Nigerians have stayed without that division. So I think we, the youth, we are more onto that division than even the leaders, trying to differentiate, okay, me, I'm from the north, I cannot support my brother from south. So we are the same, and Nigeria is the only country we are the same identity.
Okay, many young people are leaving Nigeria in search of greener pasture and greener opportunity abroad. Should we encourage youth to stay and build Nigeria, or leaving the country is the best way forward?
I think we have to use the both because if they leave the country and went abroad, they will also have some knowledge that they will in fact and come and bring it to Nigeria, where we the ones that in Nigeria are going to apply or have a rooms to share our ideas in trying to do global leadership.
If you have the opportunity to meet with the Nigerian president, what 3 key recommendations will you give him?
The list is large, while the number are too numerous to mention. I think I would advise him on security, because without peace, there is no dialogue. Then I will advise him on youth participation into every decision making of the country, and I will advise him on the unemployment we are having. I will advise him on the poverty, declining of public trust. These are some of the things I will advise him.
2027 seems to be very, very close to us. And this is the moment when Nigerians are going to decide their own future for additional 4 years. So what will you say to Nigerian youth?
First, I would like to say it is clear that it is not about political parties or differences. It is about Nigerian future. If Nigerian youth can unite to vote for credible, competent, and accountability, I think we can restore Nigerian future as the giant of Africa again.
So what role should schools, family, religious leaders, and traditional institutions play in raising responsible young leaders?
They are the majority, and they have much responsibility to raise a good leadership among our society than the government, because the government represents, while it is the teachers, the school, through innovation, a lot of ways to develop to the community grounds.
Okay, what imagine this country is no longer like giving all the necessary opportunity for young people to participate in governance and leadership. In your humble opinion, how can you describe that country?
There's no progress.
There is no progress.
There's no progress because without youth there is no leaders, and without leaders there is no youth. So we won't have any progress.
Okay, Alamin, before we call it a day, I think I have some part of this conversation that I would like to ask you to respond to me with just one word. Leadership or power?
Leadership.
Integrity or popularity?
Integrity.
Democracy or dictatorship?
Democracy.
One Nigerian youth leader you admire to be like him?
Integrated leader.
One national problem that requires urgent attention?
Insecurity.
One habit every Nigerian young leader should embrace?
Progress.
Your biggest hope for Nigeria?
To be serve as the giant of Africa, as we are former.
If you have the opportunity to be Nigerian president for one day, what will be your first decision?
My decision is to interact with the community and to know where it's eaching them, rather than having an individual leader or individual person who is going to represent over 200 million or something people.
Complete this sentence. Nigeria will succeed if
leadership is into the progress.
Okay, before we end, what final message would you like to share to millions of Nigerian youth watching you?
Okay, please, Nigerian youth, this is the last opportunity we have. And I can call it last opportunity because whatever decision we make today will determine our future. And we can see several attempts we are meant to change the life of the egalitarian society. But unfortunately, for about due to selfish interests and corruption of some of the bad governance, we are still keeping down and we are not involved in the decision making. And every sustainable country, like countries that have sustainable development, there must be a youth inclusion behind. So please study the political track record of the candidate, like I mentioned. Promote peace. Stand with your people. Also organize a community engagement where you can know how Nigerians are going to express their future. Because
thank you so much, Alamin. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure having you here on S24 Political Arena. And thank you for sharing your insight. And I believe with what you said, if Nigerians youth are going to use it, Nigeria is going to be great.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And this is where we draw the curtain of S24 Political Arena here on S24. Thank you and bye for now.